you know, a deal where you can check each other's phones randomly and they can't say no. You know, someone can get a second phone, you know, a cheating phone. Hi guys, welcome back to the Shannon Show. Hello if you're new. So today's video is going to be a review of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 1, Episode 2. I hope everybody is doing as well as can be, and I really do hope everybody is being as proactive as possible in supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. And if you're still on the lookout for some resources, I've linked some in the description. Feel free to comment down below your thoughts on my commentary. I'm always up for a chat, I'm always up for a debate. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. No hard feelings. And if you really like this video, consider subscribing and helping you get out. So, Episode 2. I feel like Episode 1, obviously, I didn't do a review on it on my channel, but Episode 1 was kind of just like kind of warm-up, introduction, and I feel like Episode 2 is just kind of a continuation of the petty drama. And I guess with these shows you can expect petty drama, but I wasn't expecting it so soon. And it kind of just feels like they keep just dragging, and I feel like this season could potentially be something that a season where petty drama is just dragged out every single episode. But let's just talk about it. So we start off the episode, we're still at Meredith/Jen's party, and Jen is still upset about what Mary said about her smelling like hospital after she came back from the hospital that her grandma was at getting a double amputation. And honestly, the whole argument was silly. The whole argument was silly, and it was a struggle for me to take it seriously even in this episode. But I feel like, looking at the subject matter seriously, Mary should have just apologized, even if she is straight up and she just says it how it is. I mean, it was insensitive to say, so she should have just said that she was sorry, even if she didn't mean it. She should have just said that she was sorry, and it would have been the issue over. So I personally, it didn't make sense to me why Mary was being so stubborn. And then it also doesn't make sense to me where it's like, okay, you're being this stubborn just to say sorry anyway. So it's kind of just like, now I lost respect for you, because it's like, if you're going to be stubborn, be stubborn. Don't be stubborn and then go back when you should have just apologized in the first place. But yeah, they kind of deaded that beef temporarily, but it looks like they're going to drag out this now rivalry between them throughout the whole season, I'm assuming. But yeah, did anyone else just think that argument was just absolutely stupid? Let me know. Like, I couldn't take Jen seriously when she was like, she's disrespecting my family. I was just like, this is so fake. But yeah. So then at the party, there's also another little petty argument between Whitney and Lisa, because Lisa had gifted Whitney some tequila from her business and a bartender for her vow renewal with her husband. And I guess the bartenders that were gifted to her were not serious candidates. They had messed some stuff up in her house. They had opened, you know, things that they weren't supposed to. So they were just unserious candidates, not professional. So she tells Lisa about it, and Lisa just basically takes it as a dig. She's just like, oh my God, I gifted her this and she's criticizing me, like she's so disrespectful and ungrateful. And I can see why she might feel a type of way, like, why are you coming at me to complain when I gifted you something? But I don't think that Whitney was necessarily being overtly malicious. I think Whitney did kind of relish in, oh my God, I have something to tell Lisa and she's not going to like it. But I don't necessarily thought she was going out of her way to antagonize Lisa. And I think as a business person, for me, I would want someone to tell me if my employees were taking the absolute piss. Because obviously she had gifted these bartenders to Whitney, but if they had now gone on to a paid client and messed up, then that's going to look bad on you. So even though I might have felt a type of way like, oh, Whitney is just enjoying telling me that my bartenders ain't shit, I would have appreciated that information so then I can fire them and hire people that are not going to ruin my business. And then it kind of escalates because the day after, Lisa calls up Whitney and is like, if you try and spread bad feedback about my business, I'm gonna, tell everybody what I've heard about you, type of thing, like almost like threatening her. And yet it was just a bit crazy because I was just thinking it's really not that deep. But I was just kind of like, is this for the show or is this what, rich people do, like for entertainment, just like threaten people and, make a big deal out of nothing. Obviously, Whitney's sister Heather is still pressed about Lisa apparently not knowing her and saying that she was a party girl in college, and she plans to confront her at the ski trip. And then we also have our first kind of storyline, which I think is also going to be like in an arc within this series, is Whitney and Heather's dad is a drug addict, and he's a recovering drug addict, and he's a recovering drug addict, and he used to be successful, but because of his drug addiction, he lost all of his money, he lost his business, and it seems like Whitney is the only person who's really, really been there for him, and they're planning to go to Mary's church, and we're going to see more of that in the next episode. And I guess, a talking point from that storyline is that Whitney basically said that the Mormon church kind of views addiction as a choice rather than a disease, and I think in most Christian communities it is viewed that way, as a choice. Drug addicts are often looked down upon because it's not a lifestyle that they should have got into in the first place, and there's and recovery is often looked at, they need to stop doing drugs, they need to get help, and they need to do that on their own accord, and we're not going to baby them into doing that. And I don't think, being harsh to people who are drug addicts does anyone any favors. I don't even know where that kind of comes from. But in terms of whether I view it as a choice or a disease, I do think it is a disease. Obviously, it is a choice to begin taking drugs in the first place, but it is an addiction all the same. Whether the person went in knowing this is addictive or whether the person went in naively thinking that they wouldn't get addicted, all the same, it is a disease. And I do think it should be treated with empathy and sympathy rather than harsh love or just harshness. But I'd be interested to hear from you guys. Do you think drug addiction is a choice or a disease? And how do you think is the best way to deal with people who are drug addicts? I'd like to hear from you. Another kind of storyline that we could see have its course in this season is Meredith and her husband are having relationship problems, and they are currently separated. But Meredith hasn't actually told anybody about it on the show. I'm guessing they're going to eventually find out, but I'm guessing obviously she wants to uphold this image in front of everyone, so that's why she hasn't told anyone. From the conversations that her and her husband had in this episode, it seems like the door is still open for them to rekindle, but they're just having some issues. Obviously, Meredith says, it's because, there's a lack of communication. They're always away from each other. But I think there could definitely be some insecurity on the husband's part. I think he definitely suspects Meredith of cheating. That whole let's check each other's phone business is just screams insecurity. And I mean, look at her husband and look at Meredith. I mean, Meredith, she's gorgeous. She's still looking good. She's still looking cute. Obviously, the husband, he's not ugly, but, Meredith's still in her prime, honey. So I can understand why he might be thinking, people might be looking and wanting to seek Meredith out. But I'd be interested to hear from you guys what you think about this checking your partner's phone business. Obviously, he was saying, let's check each other's phone. And she was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not going to play these games with you. But, I've heard the talk, let's check each other's phones to prove, we ain't doing that. And I don't know about it. I just kind of feel like if someone's going to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you. It doesn't matter if you check their phone or threaten them with checking your phone, or you have a deal where you can check each other's phones randomly and they can't say no. Someone can get a second phone, a cheating phone. So personally, things like, checking your partner's phone, I personally just don't think that it's healthy. I don't think it prevents cheating. and if you find out that they're cheating, all that happens is you find out that your man is cheating, or your woman is cheating, or your person is cheating. So I personally wouldn't want to be in a relationship where someone's like, I want to check your phone. Like, no. No. I feel like there should be an element of trust, and if you can't trust the person that you're with, then there's obviously an issue in the relationship. Then we have the ski trip, and the petty drama comes to a head. Whitney confronts Lisa, so does Heather, and Lisa is just basically dismissive of everything that Heather and Whitney are saying. She's saying, oh, I didn't make any threats. Oh, I don't care what you think of me. Oh, you might think that I'm this, but I know I'm not. I always do things with good intentions, blah, blah, blah. And it was just petty, going back and forth. And eventually they all say that they're going to dead the beef, but we all know the beef is going to continue and drag out. But overall, in terms of who I think is the bad guy, whether it's Heather, Whitney, or Lisa, I think it is Lisa. She's just very dismissive. She never thinks that she does anything wrong. And from the clips that I've seen, she is the aggressor in the situation. And she just doesn't really seem like a nice person. Like, Meredith was like, oh, she never does anything with evil intentions. But I don't know. She just seems like a mean girl to me, Lisa. But I don't think Heather. I think Whitney. Whitney seems like a sweetheart, but, it could be fake. There's some fakers out here. But Heather, I don't know if Heather is entirely innocent. Because I feel like, Heather is low-key a bit jealous of Lisa. So I don't think Lisa is entirely innocent. But I do think Lisa is the aggressor, and she is aware of what she's doing, but she's trying to claim innocence, in my opinion. But another thing at the ski table, which I didn't really get, because I feel like it was kind of like Mormon insider knowledge. Obviously, Whitney said that she was going to take her dad to Mary's church, and it seemed like the Mormon girls were like not really here for it and feel like he should go to the Mormon church. I don't know whether it basically is, because that's, where his roots are from, in the Mormon church. So I feel like that's what they were trying to say. Like, he should go to a Mormon church because that's where his roots are. He shouldn't go to Mary's church. I feel like that's what they were trying to say, but I wasn't really sure, because I feel like they were trying to say it in code so that they didn't really offend Mary. But yeah, I just feel like it's a bit weird, especially if the people at the Mormon church were moving a bit shysty when he was going through it as well. So it's just kind of like, just leave him alone, like let him go where he wants to. But yeah, if any Mormons are watching, and can clear it up for me, or anyone who can clear it up for me, do let me know in the comment section. But overall, it's a kind of another lukewarm episode. It just feels so fake. It just feels like these are just old rich women who are bored and are looking for a bit of clout and are just creating and running with petty drama. But who knows? Let's give it some time. I might warm up to it, but that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. But yeah, do let me know what you thought of this episode. Let me know what you thought of my commentary. And what do you kind of think of the drama? Who was the aggressor in the situation between Whitney, Heather, and Lisa? Do you feel like Whitney is entirely innocent? Do you think Heather is entirely innocent? Obviously, they do a sneak peek, and it looks like Jen still has a problem with Mary. Yeah, I guess we're just going to see that drag out. Jen and Maida's son have a problem as well, which is just really random. But I guess we're just going to have to go with it. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you have, don't forget to put my notification bell on. I might continue this review series. I'm not entirely sure yet. I need to stop making promises on my channel. Yeah, put my notification bell on so you know if I do. And I'm also trying to get to 2.2 subscribers. I just put 2.1k. So thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel so far. Until next time, guys. Bye.